Breaking news tonight. The mystery surrounding Donald Trump's disappearance has taken a shocking new turn, and this time, it's not just about politics. According to explosive leaks from insiders close to the First Family, Melania Trump herself has begun to privately question her husband's loyalty. For years, the former First Lady has endured whispers, scandals, and rumors. She has stood silently at his side through Stormy Daniels, through tabloids screaming about affairs, through accusations that never seem to stop. But now, after Trump's unexplained absence and the swirl of reports about secret champagne nights at his golf club, sources claim Melania has reached her breaking point. Journalists are reporting hushed conversations inside her private circle. She's angry. She feels humiliated. One insider told a tabloid on condition of anonymity. Melania always kept her doubts private, but this time it's different. This time the entire world is watching, and she is asking herself if she can believe him at all. The revelation sent shockwaves through Washington and beyond. Headlines blared, "Melania questions Trump's faithfulness," and "First Lady in crisis." On social media, the story spread like wildfire, with hashtags Melania knows and First Lady speaks trending globally. Pundits debated whether her doubts were genuine or part of a carefully calculated move. But one thing was clear. The icy silence of the former First Lady had been broken, and the crack was impossible to ignore. Analysts immediately pointed out the significance. For years, Melania has been a symbol of quiet endurance, one commentator noted. If she begins to doubt him openly, even privately, it signals a fracture at the heart of Trump's carefully manufactured image. If your own wife doesn't trust you, why should the country? Tonight, the story of Trump's vanishing act is no longer just about politics, power, or scandal. It is about marriage, betrayal, and the most intimate kind of doubt. And for Donald Trump, the shadow looming over him now is not just the press or his political opponents. It may be his own wife. For years, Melania Trump has been the silent figure at Donald Trump's side, always present, rarely speaking, her expression unreadable as scandal after scandal splashed across front pages. From the Stormy Daniels revelations to countless tabloid rumors of late-night encounters, Melania has endured a marriage lived under a microscope. Each time the world expected her to walk away, she chose silence instead, appearing at official events in designer dresses, her icy composure speaking louder than any words. But insiders say that silence was not strength, it was strain. According to longtime acquaintances, Melania has confided privately that she feels more like a symbol than a partner. She's there for the photo ops, for the image, but she doesn't feel part of his life, one source revealed. Every headline, every scandal chips away at her trust. She may not show it, but it's there. Former staffers recall her moving into a separate bedroom during their White House years, a detail dismissed at the time as gossip, but now resurfacing as a sign of a deeper fracture. The recent disappearance of Trump has only amplified those cracks. When the nation worried their president might be gravely ill, Melania reportedly received no reassurance, no clear answers. She was kept in the dark just like everyone else, one insider claimed. She hated that. She asked questions, and she got silence. That was the moment she realized, perhaps for the first time, that she may never truly know the man she married. Observers have long noted Melania's subtle acts of defiance, refusing to hold Trump's hand at public events, rolling her eyes at awkward moments, delivering speeches that seemed at odds with his rhetoric. At the time, these gestures were brushed off as quirks. Now, they appear as clues, small cracks in a facade that was never as solid as it seemed. Tonight, the narrative has shifted. Melania is no longer the stoic, untouchable First Lady. She is a wife under pressure, a woman exhausted by years of whispers, now forced to confront the possibility that the rumors she tried to ignore may be closer to the truth than she ever wanted to believe. As speculation grew, the whispers inside Trump's inner circle became louder. Anonymous voices, staffers, aides, and longtime associates began leaking details that painted a striking picture of Melania Trump's growing distrust. According to one former White House aide, Melania's questions about her husband's mysterious disappearance were not just casual curiosities. She pressed for answers, the aide revealed. She asked where he was, who he was with, and why she was being kept out of the loop. The silence she got, in return, only deepened her doubts. Another source, described as close to the family, told a reporter that Melania had been visibly shaken after reading the explosive tabloid leaks about Trump's alleged nights of indulgence at his golf club. She didn't dismiss them this time, the insider claimed. She said, "If this is true, then he has betrayed me again." It was the word "again" that struck us. It wasn't a shock. It was confirmation of something she already feared. Security personnel added fuel to the fire, with one guard anonymously telling journalists that Melania had confronted staff during a private event, demanding to know why she had not been informed of Trump's movements. She asked directly if he had been with other women. Everyone froze. No one dared answer. Even her closest confidants, usually discreet, began to leak subtle signals. A family friend reportedly told a European newspaper, Melania doesn't trust him anymore. She hides it in public, but in private, she has begun to question everything. And once trust is gone, what is left? The leaks spread like wildfire across social media, feeding a narrative that the Trump marriage, long rumored to be strained, was nearing a breaking point. Commentators speculated that Melania's silence had finally cracked under the weight of years of suspicion. Memes portrayed her as a queen, trapped in a golden cage, looking out while her husband reveled behind closed doors. For the first time, the scandal was no longer just about Donald Trump's behavior. It was about the collapse of trust inside the most famous marriage in American politics. And the anonymous voices kept coming, each one making the silence between husband and wife louder than ever. By the following morning, the whispers about Melania's doubts had spilled into the public arena, and the reaction was immediate, explosive, and merciless. Headlines blared across every major outlet. Melania questions Trump's faithfulness, and First Lady breaks her silence. Tabloids plastered her image on glossy covers with captions like, "Betrayed again," and "The marriage cracks wide open." Even mainstream networks, usually cautious about personal matters, could not resist the story. CNN ran a special segment titled, "When the First Lady Stops Believing," while Fox News framed it as a distraction, accusing the media of exploiting Melania's private emotions. On social media, the scandal dominated every feed. Hashtags like hashtag Melania knows, hashtag Trump affair, and hashtag White House woes shot to the top of trending lists worldwide. Memes spread like wildfire. Photoshopped images of Melania staring coldly at Trump while he toasted with champagne. Cartoons of her changing the locks on the White House. Satirical TikToks reimagining her whispering, "I knew it," during his speeches. The internet had turned her doubts into a cultural event. Late-night comedians seized the moment. One mocked Trump by staging a skit where Melania threw his golf clubs out of a White House window, declaring, "Find a new place to play." Another joked, When your wife doesn't believe your excuses, why should voters? The jokes stung because they echoed a sentiment already spreading. If Melania couldn't trust him, maybe the American people shouldn't either. Public opinion split sharply. Critics of Trump hailed Melania's alleged doubts as a symbol of his moral bankruptcy, while supporters dismissed the leaks as fabricated attacks. Yet polls suggested something deeper. Nearly half of Americans believed the story, while even some Trump voters admitted the scandal made them uneasy. For decades, the role of First Lady had been to embody grace and support. Now, Melania's perceived silence, or the cracks in it, became a political weapon. She had not spoken publicly, but her shadow of doubt was enough to send tremors through the country. And as the nation argued, laughed, and speculated, one thing became undeniable. The Trump marriage was no longer a private matter. It had become a national spectacle, a mirror of the chaos swirling around the presidency itself.